Okay, now we are going to cut our equilateral triangles. Here's the last strip that I cut, laying out in front of me. I take out the pin, because that's one thing you got to remember, because every time you hit one of these pins, you put a nick in your blade. Now I just take a short ruler because we are going to be flipping this ruler. So you don't want a real long ruler, you want a short one. And what you need is a 60-degree line on it. Now I actually took some Mylar tape and put it on the 60-degree line. It just helps me to find it faster. Now the first cut I'm going to do, I'm going to take the 60-degree line and I'm putting it on the bottom edge of this strip of fabric. And I'm coming all the way up to where the selvage is. He's getting cut off. This is our first cut. See, and that's all you do is and when you start cutting these, is you waste one little piece on this end and one on the other. Okay, so that was our first cut. I always say just leave it sit there. Now all you're doing is you're doing a half turn. Come up, get the 60-degree line, put it right to the point that you just created, just like that. And there we have a equilateral triangle, a set of 6 of them that should be the same. Let's just see. When I'm teaching this in class, I always make them stop and play with the first one. See, they're all the same. Oops, I got a fold in that one. And we just, oh, I like that. Because they're equilateral triangles, you have 3 choices with each one and how you want it to look. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that. Anyway, so what we do, just set him aside and we just keep going. That's it. Now here, the 60-degree line was on the top of the strip. Now he's on the bottom. We're going to rotate a half a turn. Line the 60-degree line up on the bottom, right to the edge of the fabric. And then you go like this. You get a rhythm. At first it's very confusing and you feel like you can't figure out what you're doing. But you will get the hang of it. Oh, I got this one. It's got the Statue of Liberty. So I start looking at it. The fabric talks to me now at this point. I'm hearing it tell me stuff. Love it. Start playing with them. Because normally once we sew these into blocks, you sort them by color. And so at this process, when I start seeing what the blocks are going to look like, just set these aside. Oh, 60-degree line on the bottom, right up to the point. Cut. Half a turn, 60-degree line on the top of the strip, all the way to the point. Cut. Cut, cut, cut. 60-degree line on the bottom. Cut. Take out that middle pin. There we go, 60-degree line on top. Cut. Move this down so you can see what I'm doing. And that's really all you're going to do. You're going to go through each strip, 60-degree line on the bottom, and cut them. Once they're cut, then you'd start designing each block and sewing them. So much fun. I don't know, 50-something of these I've made. I'll have to look. I can't even remember. This might be 55 or 56. I don't know. It's going to be fun. To me, the fun will be looking at all the blocks and figuring out which buildings they were once the quilt's all put together. Then I always use the original fabric in the borders because I like to see it. But there's times where it was so busy that I didn't. I used a solid or something in the borders. But if I can, I put it in the borders. That's why I say cutting the strips is the hardest. This is the easy part. Very easy cutting these. Just 60-degree lines. If we use a 45-degree line, then we would be cutting octagons, because it would take 8, but then you would have to add another piece to make it a square. It's like I do with my spiderweb quilt. But this, what I do like about this is you don't need anything else. These will all fit together. Okay, last one. Can I get one more out of it? Oh, I can't. I hate it when that happens. See, it's too far off. Even if it was a lot of salvage showing, I would still use it, but I don't have a full piece here. Because once you take all your seam allowances, most of it will disappear, and then if there is a little bit of white showing, that's what pigment pens are for. Okay, so I couldn't get him out of it. Now maybe on my next one, if I go into the salvage more when I start, I'll be able to get one more out of it. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's pretty good. On average, you'll get between 17, 18, 19 blocks out of each strip. It just depends on the manufacturer because everybody's is a little bit, the lengths are a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these cut, and then I'm going to show you, I'll design some and show you how we sew them together.